Hi everybody, and welcome to another vlog. So this is the start of a new week for Camp Nano, and yeah, I'm kind of excited because I'm hoping to get a lot more writing done this week. The last 2 weeks were kind of crazy and a lot more so than I was expecting, but I don't really have a whole lot going on this week for sure, besides being able to do some writing. My pottery is still drying, so I don't really have to worry about that as much. A couple videos ago, I was talking about my Dungeons and Dragons campaign and how I am a DM/GM, however you like to say that, and how I was kind of doing it in the meantime because my husband is usually the one who does the big campaigns, but he needs a little bit of a break and he's trying to plan his new sessions and his new campaign, and we're all kind of working on new characters, which, you know, I'll probably share if you guys are interested. I'll share what character I'm kind of toying with playing and you know, what class and race and all that I'm going to be playing for his campaign. So I'm just going to be going over my notes, making sure I know where I'm at, because on Friday we're going to be doing my campaign. So we're going to be doing one of my sessions for the Game of Heroes. I think we're only on episode like 5 or 6 or something like that. One of the episodes didn't record. We had like recording issues and stuff, and so we didn't end up getting it recorded, which was unfortunately like the first one. But it is what it is. So anyways, there's a couple of episodes up there, but there's not really as much to go through. I haven't done my campaign as much because my husband usually runs his, but we're giving him a bit of a break, so we're going to be running mine. And yeah, that's gonna be Friday, and so yeah, I'm gonna need to go over my notes and need to do that, and I'm planning on trying to get a lot of writing done, along with just planning for the D&D stuff. And so yeah, I'll probably take you a little bit behind the scenes so you can kind of see, like, on Friday maybe show you how everything's set up and what I'm doing for it and how I'm running the session. All these characters are kind of competing against each other in these Olympic/Hunger Game kind of trials. They do actually get scored and rated and stuff like that based off of what they did and how their characters interacted and stuff. But so I am kind of nervous about that and how that's gonna go over, because most everybody's friends at my table and stuff like that, and I'm worried about there being tension. I do have some players who flat out told me their character does not care whether they win or lose, so that's a little bit of breathing room for me. You know, based off of their character arc and stuff, it's like they got roped into being part of these games, which totally works for me and it makes my job a little easier. But I am kind of nervous about how the point system's going to go over and how everybody's going to take what they won and what they didn't and things like that. So I forgot to mention that I was actually doing the poem, so that's kind of the clip that you watched or will watch, depending on how I fix it in post. But anyways, I found that doing the prompts, like the poem prompts and stuff like that before I write, has actually really been helpful, because it kind of helps my brain switch from what I was doing or thinking to writing and kind of focusing on that. And so I feel like a lot of my poems and prompts and stuff really aren't that great, but it's kind of worked as a warm-up for my brain, and then I am kind of in that mindset to then go and do the writing. So yeah, I did kind of write a little poem. It was the poem prompt was a miniature, so because I'm doing Dungeons and Dragons and kind of was talking about that, that's kind of what was on my brain. So I started writing a poem from the perspective of like a little Dungeons and Dragons mini, like a little table mini, you know, like you use for battles and things like that. So you could say, oh, I'm over here, oh, I want to jump there, oh, I want to go here, to kind of keep track of everybody's abilities and stuff. And so yeah, I kind of wrote a poem from the perspective of a mini, which, you know, pretty nerdy, but yeah, I am. So anyways, so I did want to show you this because I've been really bad about showing you this, but we've got my project Song of Roses, and this is where I'm at. I actually have 35,000-ish words out of the 60,000 I want for this draft. And yeah, so we're pretty much where we need to be, but I'm hoping to get a lot of writing done so I can kind of push myself further ahead just in case something happens, or you know, life happens. So as you can see, I have not updated my word count for today, but I will. But I did realize that I've been kind of bad about keeping you guys updated about my word counts, so I am actually slightly ahead of where I'm supposed to be so far in the month. And that's only because I started off with 20,000 words to begin, or not 20, 18,000. I started off with 18,000 words to begin with at the beginning of camp, because really my goal is to just try to finish this draft. I got 1,883 words for the day, so we're still above the line, but not by much. And we're at 37,000 out of the 60,000 that I'm aiming for. What do they call it in Nano? Something about like halfway through being more difficult and a slog and trying to get through the entire camp, I guess. I don't want to write. I don't really feel like doing anything today. Like, I'm still excited about the campaign on Friday and stuff, but I am having a day, and I mean, I'm gonna try to write a little excerpt based off the prompts. I don't think I'm gonna try for a poem today. I definitely know I'm not in the mood to try to play with words today. In that sense, I feel like my story needs a complete rewrite, and I'm trying really hard not to start over. My Eyes of Pewter project, it helped me to rewrite it and rewrite it and rewrite it, and I rewrote it like 7 times over the course of like 7 years of Nano. and it's so much better than it was when I first started writing it, like so much better. And like, it has the same premise and kind of a lot of the same themes and stuff that I had originally gone into writing it about, but there's just so much of the story that it changed as far as like plot and character development and stuff like that, and like, it's really hard for me to see how much that manuscript improved with all the rewriting I did and not rewrite this one, because I'm in that same mental space where I'm like, this just isn't right, and I keep trying to push through it and tell myself, you know, I just need to get through the end, I just need to get it all out on the paper and go back. But I haven't actually ever written the end of this book. like it was my Nano project for last year, 2022, and I never actually got to the end of it. You know, I wrote 50,000 words, but didn't actually get to the end of the book. And I wrote it again and didn't actually get to the end of the book. So I've never actually gotten to the end of this book. And I feel like I need to, but at the same time I'm like, but I see how my rewriting improves the story, you know? And so, yeah. And then today is just a struggle with, my daughter is struggling, and I am struggling having the patience for the struggling, if that makes any sense. Because, you know, she's sick, and she's, you know, because she's sick and it's hard to hear her because she's losing her voice because of being sick. And so I can't understand her. I can't like even hear her half the time. And then she's really tired and grumpy because she's not feeling good. And I don't know, today is just not going great and it's a struggle. And here I am talking to my camera, talking to YouTube, instead of actually getting my writing done. We'll try this again. Reset. We'll try this. Reset the brain. We'll do this. Everybody, so this is actually the next day. I didn't do any more writing. I am feeling better than I did yesterday, and I say feeling better in that I am in a better headspace. Like, I was having a bad not emotional breakdown, but I was just having a difficult day yesterday, a very difficult day yesterday, and so I will say I am feeling a lot better because I got a video to edit today. I don't have a pottery video to edit this week, so that'll make it a little easier. I just gotta get the one for this channel done for week 2 of Nano, I think, is the one I'm working on, and yeah, and then writing. So yesterday I was talking about how I was struggling with my story and how I wanted to rewrite it. It wasn't going the way I wanted. And how I get into these weird headspaces where I just want to start over. And I was having it all day. I struggled with it all day. I even told my husband, I'm like, I just want to start over. This book is not working. Nothing is working. I hate it. I don't want to do this anymore. I got some criticism on my story from some of my writing friends, and I'm not super great at taking criticism, I'll admit. I'm working on it. Usually I just try to not respond to it, just kind of listen and take it in and then process my emotional how do you say that, like, I find like I have to just kind of take a step back and process it myself with my own emotions and kind of work through it, and it's not necessarily their fault. The criticisms, I didn't ask for the criticisms, but I can see where they're coming from, and it did kind of help me. Although I did kind of have a little bit of a breakdown yesterday and wanting to just rewrite my story because of it. But like, I don't know, that's just kind of how I work. Like, I get so emotionally invested and attached, and you know, we call it passion, right? Where like, I'm so passionate about this book, I'm so emotionally invested in it, and in anything I do. I get like that with my pottery too. That a lot of the times my instant gut reaction is just to lash out, or be overprotective of it, or oh no, there's no way, that couldn't be right, I don't, you know, and so I know that about myself, and I've been kind of trying to, like, you know, accept the criticism in the moment and then let myself process it later and just kind of work through it later, because I know my gut reaction is to just like get on the defensive. So that was kind of yesterday, and yeah, it just hit me. It was like, okay, what don't you like about the book? What do you think needs to get fixed about the book? Why do you want to rewrite it? What about it do you think needs to be rewritten? And I kind of just worked through it in my head, and I kind of came to the realization that I was trying to do too much with it. I was trying to include too many things. It was just too complicated. And I felt like I was missing the point. The reasons why I'm writing this book, the themes and things like that, I think are getting lost because of all of the plot and all the things I'm trying to put in the book. So I think what's going to happen is I'm actually going to take out some of the conflicts that I have and going to escalate things sooner, which actually was one of the criticisms that I got, was that, you know, why are they doing this? Why wouldn't they just go ahead and do this thing, you know? Why drag it out, kind of stuff, you know, which I get. And I mean, I kind of reached the same conclusion myself, thinking through it, is that, you know, there's just some plot stuff that just doesn't need to happen. I don't want people... That was another one thing that I was thinking about, was I don't necessarily want people thinking that all of these books are just going to be murder mysteries, you know? And, like, I do want that aspect in the book, but I don't want the book to be that. So, yeah, so I think if I switch around the plot a little bit, I start things sooner, the conflicts start sooner, the switching between POVs starts sooner, it'll work. So, that being said, I am not actually going to be rewriting my book right now. I actually still want the end to basically happen the same way. So I am going to go ahead and finish it, and then I guess second draft, I guess you could say, maybe third. I don't really know how to count them because I keep starting over. But the next draft that I'm doing is where I'm going to be rewriting the plot and kind of taking out those points and kind of pushing it forward and doing rearranging and stuff like that in the story. So I did some editing, and then I went straight into just writing the prompt thing. So I've decided that I won't write a poem unless it, like, I really feel like it will work as a poem. So this time I just did like a little excerpt, I guess, which I thought was kind of fun. So the prompt was AI, and so what I did was I didn't mention the word AI in there or what this particular character was. I just told it from his perspective as if he was an AI. I wrote it definitely from a very literal perspective, because I feel like an AI would naturally tend to be more literal in how they perceive our language. And yeah, it was kind of fun. It was really fun to like sit there and write a story. So now I'm actually going to get into the story, and like I said, I will definitely need some major rewrite for the next draft, but I do pretty much want the end to happen the way the end happens. So I'm going to continue and actually finish off this draft. This video is taking me a very long time to edit. I'm on the last day, but I still have to add music and stuff, and I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about how I go about doing the videos in the future, so that, like, I mean, I guess Camp Nano, it's not like I'll have to record every single day after Camp Nano. I could just like record on the days that I'm writing, because generally I don't have time to write every day. I've just kind of made myself time for Camp Nano to be able to do it. Usually I only get to write about 2 or 3 times a week, just because of all the pottery stuff and all the other things I have to do. So yeah, maybe it won't be as bad to edit when it's only like a couple of days instead of like every single day. But let me tell you what, doing the vlogs for Camp Nano, it just takes so long, and then I'm like, I'm not getting any writing done. So I actually was able to finally get my internet to work. So I'm going to show you my actual word count. Alright, so we're actually at 40,000 words. Yeah. Pretty excited about that. But that's like where I needed to be today. So, I mean, I could technically not write today and be okay. I just really like being ahead. But it's not the end of the world if I don't get to write today. But we're at 40,000. So, I'm not sure if I'll get any words today, but I am almost done with the video. I actually have it completely edited. It's exporting. I gotta make a thumbnail, and I will have it scheduled to go up tomorrow. Alright, so today is D&D night, and I'm pretty excited. It's been the first time I ran a session in several months, so I actually thought I would share with you all what our setup looks like and what I'll be doing tonight. And then I'm going to try to get some writing done really fast, because I know I'm not going to be able to do it tonight. So I want to try to get as many words in as I can. Alright, my battery's almost dying, so I'll have to do this really quick. But so we all usually have our little mics and stuff because we do podcast. And like I said, we've got the 3 tables kind of lined up so everybody can kind of fit at the table. This is where I normally sit, but hubby is taking that spot because I get to be here in the DM spot. And I've got my special dice, and these things are like solid. You could probably like, they're dangerous, let's just say that. And then my assortment of dice, and I have my stuff pulled up on my Notion so I can kind of keep track. And then I also printed off the session notes. I redid the history of the world games, kind of like all of the games that have been done for the last several hundred years, and who won them and how they went and things like that. That's all broken down into a table, and because I changed a lot of it, I'm going to be re-giving it to my players. And then this, because they're still in Adora Major, I am just keeping this handy so that I can reference it and stuff if they decide to do weapon shopping or do, you know, go around to the taverns or whatever. I have a nice handy sheet that tells me what all's where and how they can get it. And so yeah, so this is, I get to sit here with my own headset over there, and this is what we're going to be doing. And like I said, there's not going to be any combat, but I really like a physical representation of what the place looks like and stuff. And it is a big arena. Most of these trials that they have take place in these big arenas. Each arena looks a little different. Like this one, because it takes place in a very water-centric country that's surrounded by ocean on all sides. It actually has like this big dome sphere that looks like a giant bubble. And so yeah, this is where they're going to be having their dinner and having all their conversations and their character moments. So I got about an hour of writing time, and I think that's pretty much all that's going to happen today, like I said, because of the Dungeons and Dragons campaign tonight. But I will show you. So I got 42,847 words out of the 60,000, and I'm actually right on track for today. I'm supposed to be at 42,000. And yeah, so that'll probably be this is the last update I will have for this week, and then on Monday I will start another vlog for the last week of Camp Nano, and here's hoping that we can finish this draft. Worst case, we'll get to the 60,000, but I'm hoping we can actually finish the draft. actually was out in my pottery studio, and about half of the bump cups that I'd made needed to be trimmed, and I knew they were getting close, but I wasn't expecting them to be done today. I really want to do a Portal Fantasy. I don't know if I'll get to it anytime soon, and it might end up being like a middle grade thing. So it might be after I'm more established as an author, but I do want to write a Portal Fantasy.